Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here on the NOFSRL channel. Hope you're all safe and sound inside your homes, or if you do have a backyard, you can get some fresh air every once in a while. That's also important. But we're here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway, gonna continue on as planned here with the weekend. And again, thanks to everyone for hanging in there and understanding. Of course, want to definitely put my mental health before everything. I don't want to go insane. That wouldn't be good. But I think this helps me not go insane. And watching these cars go around in circles, it's always a good remedy for any type of illness. But either way, we're here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway, race 6 of the season. Gonna go ahead and qualify. And we got ourselves 8 drivers in the Turkey Hill hot seat once again. Nick Smith in the 07, Mark Allen, last winner in the Turkey Hill Series in the 08, Jake Rogers in the 21, Logan Williams in the 55, Mitchell Collins in the 57, Josh Williamson in the 67, Christopher Alfveby in the 71, Landon Smith Jr. on your screen in the 98. Top 2 fastest advance on will be racing tomorrow night on a Saturday night for the New Era 400 from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Going to be the first time this race will be held midway through the season, or in the middle of the season, not as the finale, I should say. Of course, it's been the finale for every season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series up to this point. This year's finale going to be at Darlington, and Homestead moving up to race 6 of the season. But it will be a night race as planned. It was originally going to be tonight when this race was going up, but with everything going on, everything got pushed back a day. We'll have the Turkey Hill Series race over on Napa Fan at 8 p.m. tonight, and tomorrow night at 8, it's going to be the New Era 400 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Number 71, Christopher Alfveby, is currently the fastest driver. Him and Landon Smith Jr., the only 2 drivers to complete a lap so far. Josh Williamson is going to start his lap for North State Racing. And of course, we had a wild race at Atlanta just a couple days ago when that race premiered on Thursday night in the SunTrust 500 when Shane Lake faked everybody out and was the only driver able to make it to the end of the race without having to make an extra stop. And he ended up with his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory, his 3rd career win on Napa Fan. It'll be interesting to see what he can do here at Homestead. We're not expecting a fuel mileage race at Homestead. It's going to most likely be a one-stop race because it is a shorter race. Actually, Homestead becoming a shorter race now. It used to be a 65-lap, or should I say 67-lap race, as it used to be the Chick-fil-A 500. It's now the New Era 400. We shortened the race length back to 400 like it actually was the first 3 seasons of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And then, because it was the finale, we always wanted it to be a 500-mile race, but now it's not the finale. It's a 400-mile race because it's not as special anymore, which is kind of unfortunate. A great racetrack here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway, but with the way the schedule just works out in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Darlington will work out as the finale, and we're definitely looking forward to that race in September. Definitely looking forward to seeing who gets it in the championship for both series once we get to that point, Labor Day weekend, but we're a little ways from that point right now. These guys, they all want to get that opportunity in a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. Mark Allen, who won his first ever Napa Fan race last week, or should I say 2 days ago, in the Turkey Hill Series at Atlanta. That was supposed to be last week, but you know what happens. You got Mark Allen in the 55 of Logan Williams, who finished 1-2 in that race at Atlanta in the Turkey Hill Series. They're the 2 fastest drivers here in uncharted qualifying from Homestead. So good job out of these guys, getting some good lap times in. Mark Allen thinks he's going to be good enough to make it. No one's really drafting off of one another, with the exception of Logan Williams and Mark Allen, and they're the 2 fastest guys, so don't think we're going to see anybody improve here. Number 21's Jake Rogers, but he's 6th fastest right now. Then you got Josh Williamson there in the 67. He's 5th, but only 2 positions that matter are the top 2 positions here in uncharted qualifying, and if you're not in one of those top 2 positions, you're not going to be in the race. That's all there is to it. Mitchell Collins really close, 5/1000ths of a second off the 55 of Logan Williams, and if that stays, the 57 will not make it into the New Era 400 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Probably had about half a minute onto the clock right here, and maybe another half a minute Doesn't look like Nick Smith will attempt, or should I say, race in 2 races in a row here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. It does appear it's going to be Mark Allen and Logan Williams, who were 1-2 in the Turkey Hill Series race at Atlanta, so very fitting. They're the 2 guys who most deserve the hot seat, as they finished very well in that Atlanta race, that crazy Atlanta race that we had a couple days ago. And, qualifying for Atlanta in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series has just finished rendering. That is the sound you just heard. I actually forgot that Windows Movie Maker makes a sound when the video's done. But the video's done, just in case you didn't know, when I was recording this, and recording this the night before you're seeing it. I think that's going to be it right there. Logan Williams, Mark Allen, they're going to be in the New Era 400 tomorrow night on Napa Fan from the Homestead-Miami Speedway, so we'll have to see how they fare with the other 40 full-time drivers when we set the field for the Homestead race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Right now, Mark Allen and Logan Williams advance on. Let's go ahead and see who wins the pole from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. And here we go, ready to set the starting lineup for the New Era 400. New Era coming on board and sponsoring the Homestead race this year. And it's going to be a more condensed event, which is going to probably make the race a little bit more exciting than it especially was last year. Last year here at Homestead, which it was the finale race, the championship had already been decided. And we had a caution-free event here. I believe the first time we've ever had a caution-free race at Homestead in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. All 67 laps. Of course, it's only going to be a 54-lap race tomorrow night for these guys. But it's still going to be a major race, especially considering everything that's going on. These guys definitely want to get that shot at getting a race victory. You got Fisher G in the number 7. First driver out there on the racetrack for Zagdell Motorsports. And Mark Davidson coming out. Mark Davidson almost won this race last year. It was actually Lucas Jacobson who ended up winning here at Homestead last year. Lucas Jacobson not driving in the series anymore, but Davidson came close to winning his second race of his career in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series at this very racetrack last year, but could not pull it off. But have a good feeling about him this season. Of course, he's been doing great this year. I believe he currently is inside the chase. Of course, we're only a quarter of the way through the regular season, so we're not going to focus too much on that at the moment. Once we get halfway through the regular season, then we'll start focusing on who's in the chase and who's not. Of course, we have a lot of guys in this race who have won here before, including guys like Matt Delio and Cameron Garlington, who won this race while we had the elimination format, both winning races and winning the championship. So we'll have to see how they do in this race. Of course, other guys who have had success here, Jesse Turner won his Season 2 championship at this very racetrack back when we had the elimination format. Of course, track holds a much different meaning now. It's unfortunately basically just another one of those races on the schedule for these guys, which is going to make it interesting, especially considering that no champion has been decided, no championship will be decided in this race, but my goodness, Kukulon almost decided who wasn't going to get a lap in here in qualifying. Well, Fisher G was the first driver out there, and he's the fastest driver out there with Keegan Thompson, Silas Orta. How about the 08 of Mark Allen? Going to be a second race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He was able to qualify that 08 in, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the third time that this 08 for Allen A. Dale Racing has been in a Cup race this season, meaning in half the times we've done the Turkey Hill Hot Seat this season, that 08 has made it on. Iquan Haslam trying to rebound after he had a miserable experience at Atlanta. He's now the fastest driver for Anderson Racing, with the number 7 of Fisher G second, Gatlin Downey third, Keegan Thompson, here to Larvin Alonso, Tristan Allen, Logan Williams in the 55 is 7th. Then it's Silas Orta, Diego Pez, and Nathan Baird. Not quite halfway through the session yet, but looking like those guys are some of the fastest. Great run there for Iquan Haslam. It was, in fact, the 64 that won here last year. However, the 64 was with the now defunct Wade Enterprises. That charter ended up moving over to the newly formed Anderson Racing, and the number seems to be going strong. But talking about numbers and being strong, Trey Bartow who has a bit of a bitter relationship with this racetrack. Of course, the last season we have the elimination format for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Trey Bartow was one of the final 4 drivers. They came here to Homestead. The other 2 guys, Al Lagasse and Daniel Bouchard, had knocked out of the race. They were not in contention for the championship, and it only left Trey Bartow and Elijah Gordon on the racetrack. Gordon had actually suffered damage from a prior accident. Bartow was the only driver out there who did not have any damage, and he was scooting away with the championship, but within 10 laps to go, there was an incident right ahead of him involving a lap car, and he got caught up in it, taking him out of the race and giving way to Elijah Gordon's first of 2 consecutive championships here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I know Bartow would love to win here at Homestead, considering the 2 times he's actually had a shot at winning the championship in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I believe is the last 2 times that we had the elimination format. Bartow was the final 4 driver, both Season 5 and Season 6. And he's been a very consistent driver. Of course, he won a Turkey Hill Series championship. But this place has beaten him up in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, unfortunately. We'll have to see what he does, as he's currently 7th fastest at the moment. Brad Stover gonna sport a new scheme this weekend in the number 99 for Titan Fury Motorsports. He's got the fastest time right now, and now it's a bunch of veterans inside this top 10 with Stover, Yepes, Alonso, Whitlock, Rowe, Keegan Thompson, the highest of the rookies, but he's been one of the most consistent rookies so far this season. Trey Bartow, Quan Haslam, Jesse Turner, and Silas Orta. Of course, Turner's already won a race this season. We'll have to see if he can win another one. Somebody else just moved himself up there. That's Eli Bright going to 3rd. Really fast run right there for the number 33 machine. Of course, while this isn't the finale race anymore, it's still going to play a lot like the finale race has. Of course, with it being completely under the lights this time, of course, when we were here back in September, it was a day race the whole way through. But now it's going to be under the lights the whole way through for the first time, so that'll definitely play into who gets the race victory, I think. And with it being a slightly cooler racetrack, these guys are going to be going a little bit faster, and the racing action is going to be pretty good, in my opinion. I hope it's going to be pretty good, at least. We need a good race, because this is all we got. Keegan Thompson going the 2nd, but Stover remains the fastest driver. Dio Yepes, Sebastian Kukalani, Eli Bright, Jalard and Alonso, Reagan Whitlock, Alexander Rowe, Jesse Turner, and Trey Bartow. That's the top 10 right now here from Homestead qualifying. Then Quan Haslam's now 11, Silas Orta, Nathan Baird, Mitchell Henderson. Henderson's had a rough couple of goings. Of course, he actually almost won at Phoenix, so it wasn't really a rough going there. Just couldn't get around Alexander Rowe, but got caught up in that accident at Atlanta a couple days ago, and that hurt him in the number 47 machine. You got Fisher G in 15th, Dale Lightning 16th. He also would love to have a good run. It's been a tough rookie campaign for this 38 team so far. Gatlin Downey, Bradley Ream, our points leader here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Ream has been the class of the field so far, even though he's yet to win a race in his whole career. He's definitely shown that number 40 car is one of the best cars out there. Of course, Nathan Baird won the championship in this ride last year. And now you got Bradley Ream leading in the championship 5 races into the season. Brett Sierra in 19th, and then Ace Garcia there in 20th. Somebody moved their way inside this. Nah, you know what? I don't think anyone did. I think it kind of stayed the same since we started talking about it there, so that's about it. Number 99, Brad Stover, still the fastest. It does appear that he's going to win the pole position. Of course, Stover's had a quiet season. It's not been the rookie campaign that he had. Versus his rookie year, he was one of the best drivers on the racetrack and could have easily won the championship had he not slipped up in the final few races of the season. But Stover, a very solid driver. He knows what he's doing and looking to possibly get his 4th career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory tomorrow night here from Homestead. And of course, if you want to see some racing action here from Homestead all weekend, we got racing action from Homestead. I'm assuming Marty's going to be having his race from Homestead here on Sunday. The real-life guys in the Cup Series, they're going to be going on iRacing here at Homestead, which I know I've definitely shown my remorse for iRacing But I think it's still pretty cool that we're going to have something. That'll be fun to watch on Sunday afternoon. And, of course, Chick-fil-A Cup Series tomorrow night here from Homestead as well. At 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to roll these guys out on the racetrack and see who gets it done in the 6th race of the season. There's Andrew Miller, one of our race winners so far this season. We've only had 4 different race winners so far this season. Alexander Rose won twice. You see him there in the 25. He is currently in... My goodness, where is he? I can't even find him on the leaderboard. He's got to be somewhere. Where is he? Oh, he's 8th. I thought he was deep in the field. He was already inside the top 10. I forgot about that. That took me way too long. But yeah, Alexander Rose already won twice. Won the Daytona 500, then won at Phoenix a couple weeks ago. Jesse Turner won in Las Vegas. Andrew Miller won at California. And then, our last race, Shane Lake, the first rookie to win a race this season. But even that race, he was the only guy who stayed out, and everyone else came down at the end and ended up stealing the race win away. Shane Lake, our last race winner, is currently last. A little bit ironic there, but he started 33rd in that Atlanta race and was inside the top 5 once the cycle began, so it's not like he wasn't doing good in that race and just got lucky. I mean, he got lucky, of course, but regardless of what happened in that race, he would have gotten a good finish inside the top 10. And they definitely showed a lot of strength in that race course. This place here at Homestead, very similar to Atlanta, very similar to the style of racing that we get, or we'll see. Of course, Homestead's always been a middle groove racetrack. Of course, we saw that at Atlanta last week for the first time, but we're going to see a similar race play out, I think. Maybe the guys are probably not going to hit the wall like they were at Atlanta. It's a little bit more of a controlled chaos here at Homestead, but it should be a good one. That's going to be it. Brad Stover going to lead us to the green flag tomorrow night in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. New Era 400 from Homestead, Keegan Thompson, Diego Yepez, Sebastian Cucalon, Eli Brighthare, Joe Larvin, Alonzo, Reagan Whitlock, Alexander Obe, Jesse Turner, and Trey Bartow. The top 10, only one rookie inside the top 10 to start this race. That's Keegan Thompson, who has shown to be one of the best rookies so far this season. Great run for Iquan Haslam and Silas Orta just outside the top 10. Take a look at the rest of the results. Double check for any ties. Cameron Garlington and Andrew Miller. I believe Miller's going to have that on Garlington. Cody Sill and Ryan Durrani. We're going to have to check the points for that. Brett Sierra and Ace Garcia are tied. Going to have to check the points for that one as well. And also Alexander Rowe and Jesse Turner. But Rowe does have the advantage on Turner. I know that much. So they'll stay in their respective positions. That's it for the ties. There's the rest of the starting lineup right there. And just in case you missed it. And we will see you guys in less than an hour over on Appafan for the New Era 300 in the Turkey Hill Series. Going to be a 40-lap race over there, and going to be a good one. And get some racing action here around this 1.5-mile racetrack in Homestead, Florida. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Brad Stover for winning the pole position here for the New Era 400. And I will see you guys later.